Oi! What you doing, geezer? Is that the best you can do? I've got to fly back to London. I need you to take care of my cat.
I like cats.
I like dogs.
Hey, is Russ home?
Who are you? What's the baby, man?
I wanted to start off chatting with Austin. You know, I read that you didn't need a stunt double at all in this. They never had to call them in. Is that true?
Yeah, I did every stunt. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you to have reached, you know, this level of the craft? And then I'm curious as well, you know, were there any specific scenes where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, but in the end, I'm glad I did, and I love the way it turned out.
No, I mean, there were times where they were talking about doing certain things, and we had an incredible stunt team. They kept me so safe, and yeah, there were times where they were gonna, you know, not have me hanging out of a window from certain angles, and then I watched it and I just thought,
I can do
I really just wanted to do it. I mean, I have to put it all in perspective because we have Tom Cruise hanging off of airplanes, you know, and jumping off of cliffs many, many times. So everything in perspective. But I've been talking a lot about Jackie Chan actually, because I was remembering like the first behind the scenes I ever saw were Jackie Chan, you know, the bloopers or the deleted
Rush
scenes.
Hour?
Yeah. Yeah, and like Police Story.
Yeah.
And,
Were there bloopers on those?
well, it was like you got to see when the stunts didn't go, like all the times they tried it. And when we have, you know, I feel like a lot of people do that on the internet now where they're like, you'll see the amount of time somebody tries to shoot a basket or something and then you see them finally make it. And the first time I ever saw that kind of thing was Jackie Chan, I think.
That's cool.
And so, so to have that with this, it was like, it kind of reminded me of being a kid and the first behind the scenes being those stunt things.
That's cool.
You know.
Buckle your seatbelt.
What the is going on?
Zoe, you've mentioned that Darren is one of your favorite directors of this generation. I'm curious if his filmmaking style has influenced your own, and if not, what did you kind of pick up from working on this set that you think you'll take to a future one?
I mean, I think I, as a filmmaker, just get really inspired when I see good work, you know, when I see something that's just well-made, has a point of view, takes risks, is fresh, you know, and Darren has been, has had his own voice since the very beginning, you know, and he continues to evolve and challenge himself. And so, yeah, I'm just inspired by him as a human being, as an artist, as a filmmaker. So getting to work with him, you know, was a dream come true.
And what did you love as an actor, being on that set and being able to kind of immerse yourself in his world?
Well, I think when you're working with someone, you know, as great as Darren, there's so much safety. You feel so taken care of, and you don't have to think about anything but, you know, what he tells you to do, and you feel safe to kind of fall on your face and try things and make suggestions, and that he's going to always guide you to where it needs to be. And he's so clear. He's a wonderful combination of collaborative and also clear, you know. It's like he's always down to talk about ideas, but he also knows exactly what he wants, you know. And so it's a really fun place to play, and yeah, it is really a place of play because you don't have to do any heavy lifting. It's just like he's got it, you know. He's behind the wheel.
Let's go back to your place and you can take advantage of my poor judgment.
I depend on your poor judgment.
I want to know if I can take this seriously.
What do you need to take us seriously?
I love that it makes the creativity like thrive even more, right? To
Yeah.
have that freedom and that safety. And
Absolutely.
I also saw that you said this was a full circle moment for you, wanting to have had work with Darren since you first did a short film and a director expressed that he really liked him. What was it like having that first day on set, being like, oh, wow, this random dream that I had when I was first starting out has now come to fruition?
Yeah, it's really surreal, you know. I first of all, Jacob Chase is that director. I gotta say hello to him. But he's the first person who ever cast me, and I went and I auditioned. First audition I ever went to.
Wow, you booked the first job you.
Yeah, it's
wow.
a student film.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Which it's wild how memory works, because I can sort of close my eyes right now and remember what that room felt like. I remember the experience of being on that very first set, and and not knowing anything, not knowing anything about craft or about movie making, and asking him I sort of was looking for mentorship in a way, and Jacob saying, you know, Darren Aronofsky's my favorite director, and watch Requiem for a Dream, and it blew my mind. And so, yeah, all these years later, we're talking 20 years, I guess, yeah, 12 to like 32. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Finally to have this full circle moment, it's really, yeah, very cool.
Welcome to Narnia.
Should I stay or should I go?
How much is there?
Over 4 million. Everyone gets a cut. The Russians, the Puerto Ricans, the Hebrews.
So what happens to me?
You run away from what you're afraid of, then it owns you.
Being that this is set in the late 90s and really leans into the visual nostalgia of that, you know, gritty early 2000s Manhattan as well, I'm curious for both of you, as filmmaking continues to evolve and change with new technologies, what's that one piece of organic filmmaking and the process of it that you think you'll hold on to for as long as you can, kind of in the same way that we hold on to like cassettes and CDs and vinyl records in the age of streaming?
That's a good question. But that's different because those are very physical things. And it's like, unfortunately, that's not really, you know, I still encourage people to buy DVDs and things like that because there is something scary about, like, there are some films that you can't find sometimes online. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, like, I was looking for All That Jazz the other day and I couldn't find it. And I was
All
like,
That Jazz is not online.
It's hard to find right now. And so, you know, it's just kind of reminds you, like, these things that are important to us, you know, there's a lot of power in having the physical copy of these things. So I do always hope that there is some version of having physical copies of film, because, I mean, if someone could just decide to like delete everything, I don't know. It's just like, think about that, it'd be crazy.
Wow, that's crazy to think about.
I know.
Yeah, for myself, I mean, the analog, it's interesting. We went to go see Blowout before we started filming because that movie has similar themes. You know, it's a guy who is not cut out for what he eventually goes through, John Travolta's character in that, and then just thrown into this chaos, you know. And but that film is so. I was thinking about it because of the analog nature of it.
Like in like recording sound.
Yeah, even like the sound design, recording the sound, and the way they do the split screen, and it's like analog porn. It's like, it's amazing. And yeah, for me, I mean, I remember the first time I'd shot on digital my entire life, really. And then on Quentin's movie, on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, being in a car and hearing the sound of a film camera, you know, it's different than a digital camera. It's silent, you know, but then you hear the sort of purr of the camera. And even that is like, I realize that's going to be a real lost thing, where some people won't experience that. And what comes along with that is knowing that you only have, it's like when you have a roll of film and you're shooting stills, you know, every picture counts so much more than when you take it on your iPhone, you know. So there's something that it focuses the creativity in a way, but also, you know, there's something to be said for, you know, all the possibilities that come with technology making it easier. But yeah, it is wild to think about. I mean, we were just talking about AI.
Yeah,
and like
I hope the writing has to stay human, in my opinion.
Yeah, keep writing human. Yeah.